Isn't this just the cutest cup ever? Alright, so there's been a ton of controversy over this palette within the past few days. Basically, a lot of people saying that it has way too much kick up. People who have gotten palettes that in their first time trying them out have hit pan already. Just a lot of things that people have been bickering back and forth on social media about. And so now here's my impression. I'm not affiliated in any way, shape, or form with Anastasia. So I kind of don't have a bias either way, shape, or form. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And I'm also here to spill a little bit of tea about Anastasia Beverly Hills, but that will be for the end of the video. You'll have to stick around for the end to see what that includes, but right now we're going to be talking about the palette itself. This is what it looks like. It's the Subculture palette, and it is meant to be the sister, per se, for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I have to be honest, when this was first leaked by Trend Mood, I wasn't really super excited about it. I was like, okay, great, don't have to pick it up, not really feeling it all that much, but I just feel like I came to grow to love it. It's so different than anything I feel like we have right now in the industry, and everyone's coming out with these palettes that all kind of seem like they're the same, and so I feel like it's really like sparked my creativity, and it's actually been giving me a little extra boost of wanting to do more looks and wanting to do like just really outside of the box type things for you guys. Alright, so like I said, this is the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I believe this retails for $43. Alright, so this is what the palette looks like. It has a ton of interesting colors in here. There is 2 duochrome shades, 1 shimmer shade, and then the rest are mattes. I do feel like that's one thing I wish they would have done a little bit differently. Even if it was just 1 more shimmer shade, I felt like we needed something a little bit different. 1 more at least, but I still think it's great, and maybe it'll push me to do a little bit more matte shades than just shimmer shades, because I do tend to kind of flock towards that. But I haven't swatched them or anything. I thought about a lot of people are doing the showing how much kick up there is. I don't know if I'm going to particularly do that. I'm going to let you guys know how my palette reacts, if I got a good palette, if I got a bad palette, and if I do see anything notable, I will show you guys. I'm also not going to be swirling around my brush in this palette, although yes, I do agree it shouldn't hit pan first time even if you are swirling it, but personally I don't think I would ever swirl my brush into the palette. I usually, with every eyeshadow, just tap my brush in, and I feel like that's all I need. I never feel the need to swirl my brush in, but it's just, with all the controversy going on, I feel like it's hard to tell what's crap and what's real. So without further ado, I want to jump in straight away and give you guys my honest opinion. Alright, so first I'm going to be taking my Morphe R40, and I think I'm going to take Dawn. Okay, so it does have quite a bit of kick up. I also have heard a lot of people complaining that, I do agree, it does have a lot of kick up. I've heard a lot of people complaining that the colors may not blend very well together, and I've also heard that some of them can be patchy as well, so I guess we'll see. I don't want to do a too intensely crazy look today just because I am going to work. But I will be continuing to do looks with this palette for my channel. So I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be a color look. Alright, I think I'm going to take the shade Roxy. I've also heard a lot of people have complaints with that color as well. And I'm going to take my Morphe E17 brush and just tap into that one. See, honestly, a lot of people were having problems with that shade, but I just tapped into that one and I feel like Dawn gave me more fallout than Roxy did. And I didn't, like, tap into them any differently either, so. Alright, let's apply this. I think I'm going to take this all the way on my lid. So far, I think I got a good palette, so I'm really excited because, like I told you, I still gotta spill some tea, and I was not impressed. Alright, I'm just going to take a R42 brush, and I'm just going to take that into Roxy as well, because I want to pack the color on a little bit more on my lid. Oh, so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. It is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Like I said, tapping into this several times, no issues. And this is the supposed color that the girl hit pan on first time trying it, so good so far. The thing I don't get, guys, is I don't understand why everyone's gotta be so hostile. Like, it's only makeup. And I mean, people are getting nasty about it, like really nasty, and I just don't think it's necessary. Like, at the end of the day, the stuff all wipes away. If you don't like it, return it. Like, I don't understand. I'm just blending this out quick. I just don't understand the need for the hostility. Like, so far I don't see any fallout around my eyes. Alright, so palette's still clean. Got less fallout with Roxy than I did with Dawn. Let's move on to, I think I want to take All Star and kind of darken up the look a little bit. But I'm going to take, I think, like a pencil brush, because I really want to just make sure it's very precise. Okay, so I got a little bit of fallout, but I did use a very small brush. I didn't use a fluffy brush or anything. I did get a little bit of fallout, but nothing too crazy. And I just really want to focus this in a V shape. I don't want to put too much in there, so I'm going to go like a little at a time, and then if I need to, I can still build it up. I'm going to take my Makeup Geek Outer V brush with no product on it, and I'm just going to blend out that purple color. Alright, this is what I've done so far. Right now, like I said, I'm taking All Star and I'm just blending it out. I think I'm going to take a different brush. I think I want to take a fluffier brush. I think I'm going to do my, oh, I can't even read anymore. It's so banged up. My Sigma Blending E25 brush. Really love this brush. One of my favorites. Oh yeah, that made a world of difference. Okay, so I found that All Star was pretty hard to work with. I had to really work at blending it. I feel like it turned out okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to do a little tiny cut crease on the inner corner of my eyes. Alright, and I'm going to go in with my clean R42 brush. I'm going to go in with my clean R42 brush by Morphe, and I'm going to spray it with setting spray, just because that's personally what I like to do. And I'm going to go in with the shade Cube. No fallout with that one, but I didn't really expect there to be, just because usually it's more of the mattes that are going to be powdery. A little bit better. I don't know. Alright, now I'm going to blend that out a little bit. Alright, so now I'm just going to work on my bottom lash, and I'm going to take Dawn again. And I'm just going to work that on my bottom lash. Alright, and now I'm going to take Roxy and do the same. Alright, and now I'm going to just darken it up a little bit and kind of smoke out my bottom lash. So I'm going to be taking a small pencil brush. I'm going to take my Morphe M168, and I'm going to dip into Fudge. Fudge is another color that I've heard a lot of people have problems with fallout, but personally I didn't when I just dipped my brush in for this. I'm just going to take that really as close as I can to the lash line, just to make this kind of a grungier type look. Alright, and now I'm going to clean off the Sigma Short Shader E20 brush, and I'm just going to, with no powder, just smudge that out. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video and my final thoughts of the Subculture palette. I will be completely honest with you, I did not see the fallout that I know a lot of other people are claiming to have seen, and I'm not saying just because I didn't see it that it's not happening. I'm sure it totally is, and you know, with a lot of makeup launches, there are going to be things that aren't perfect. It normally, like, it's just something that happens. It happens quite a bit. I just feel like it's all getting kind of blown out of proportion, and at the end of the day, I think we all need to just remember that this is just makeup and isn't that big of a deal at the end all be all. There's way more important things that are happening out in this world today. I really liked the colors. Ooh. I really liked the colors that were in this palette. I think they're super gorgeous. I know I didn't use them all, but I did use 5 of the colors, and I will be doing more tutorials with this to continue on, to continue to use it and see my actual final impressions of it. First off, I really don't think that this is a bad palette at all. I do feel like there are a few colors that may be a little bit more difficult to play around with. I actually put Cube into my inner corner, which at the end of the day, I think it is like a really, really pretty color. At the end of the day, I think it's a really pretty color, and I think the look did turn out pretty good, but in the same respect, I did have a very hard time with that shade, and I think it had to do with the fact that I cut my crease with a concealer. I don't think it went very well with that. But I do want to play around with the colors a little bit more, get to know the palette a little bit better. I also did have a little bit of trouble with All Star, but it's something that I will continue to play around with. I do not think that this is a palette that if you are starting out with makeup, it's going to be something that you will enjoy. I think this is a more advanced palette. I would not go run out if this is the first palette that you're picking up for your collection. I think there are a lot of more versatile and easier shades to work with than these. But with that being said, I still think a lot of people are creating some beautiful, beautiful looks with this, and I did not experience the kickback that I think everyone, or at least a lot of people, are experiencing. But I will keep you updated on that. Would I purchase this if it wasn't for YouTube? Honestly, just because I am a makeup lover, I think I would, but I can see a lot of people who don't do this or don't do their makeup very often. I can see them passing on this, but I do think the colors are so gorgeous, and I really do think it's a breath of fresh air, honestly, compared to all the other palettes that have been coming out recently. This is so different and so unique, and nonetheless, I think it was pretty good. So, time to tell you my little story quick before we leave. Basically what happened was my palette got stolen. My palette got stolen, it got delivered to the wrong place, and people swear up and down they didn't take it. But the UPS, or no, sorry, it goes through FedEx. The FedEx guy said exactly where he dropped it off, went back to my neighborhood to make sure that that's exactly where he dropped it off, and it was, but my palette disappeared. I contacted Anastasia Beverly Hills, and they did almost absolutely nothing to help me. They pretty much told me it would take 2 weeks for them to investigate it to see if they would even replace my palette, and I didn't pay $50 some odd to wait 2 weeks for them to decide if I'm gonna get another palette. I mean, I'm sorry, but every single company that I've ever talked to before, even if I have the smallest complaint about any product that they send me, it's a constant like, what can I do to help, you know, I'll send you this, or we'll get you a replacement as soon as possible, anything. But I felt like they just did not care, and they just did absolutely nothing to help me. And it was just very frustrating. I went through this for about 48 hours. My mom called once for 10 minutes, and I had a new palette getting shipped towards me. I was even willing to pay for another palette, and then when everything got settled, I would just take the $54 back in my money so that I could receive the palette as soon as possible, because I wanted to review it for you guys. And they literally just did nothing to help me. It was the most ridiculous customer service I think I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was just very frustrating to see that they literally just weren't going to do absolutely anything about it. And I'm sorry, but if I paid for 2-day shipping, I don't really want to wait 2 weeks when they can take my money out in 2 seconds, but they're not going to solve this any faster than 2 weeks, I think is a little crazy. Maybe that's just first world problems, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I've never had a company say anything like that to me before. And then for my mom to call one time, and within 10 minutes for her to get someone to send out a palette as soon as possible. They were not in stock at that exact moment, but he said as soon as the palettes hit the floor, he was going to send me out one. Literally that night at 11, I had a confirmation saying that my palette had been shipped. So just a little frustrating and something I want you guys to keep in mind. Honestly, I think I probably won't be doing anything as far as business towards Anastasia for a while, at least not through the actual website. I will probably go through Ulta or Sephora, because I know no matter what, like, I've had problems with this before, and every single time Sephora's like, absolutely, let's take care of this right away. That's not to say Anastasia is a bad brand at all, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I really do think their customer service needs a little bit of tweaking. But with that being said, I really did enjoy this, like the look that I got from this palette. I do want to play around with it a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!